Greetings, Vault Hunters all across the 6 galaxies. Welcome to the BorderCast. We are live at our almost always usual time, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm Mitsu.
And I'm Tessichka, coming to you every week to break down all things Borderlands.
Nuclear launch detected. Bounty of Blood has now been out for 2 weeks, and we are definitely diving deep right now. A warning, there will be blood and spoilers. Mostly spoilers.
Lots of spoilers, so we definitely recommend, if you're still working your way through this super awesome campaign, check out the replay, but maybe not the best idea to watch while we're actually live, because we're going to be talking about story, we're going to be talking about side quests, we're going to be talking about all the things with our very special guest, TweetyExp. Hi, Tweety. How are you doing?
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. Yeah. Especially for this, because I know you especially tend to love a lot of the things that, of course, Tess also enjoys. Story.
Oh, yes.
The aesthetics of it. And I couldn't think of anybody better. Your name was actually the one that popped directly into my head when we were wrapping up with Moxie last week to come on and talk about it, because I couldn't think of anybody better who would follow up, who would have such
so good. So good.
Yeah.
And we are so happy to have you back here so soon, too. It's been just over a month since we last saw you.
Yeah, very soon.
Yes. And you're fresh off of vacation, so
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to fly.
That must have been so nice, though, just to take some time away from the interwebs, a little bit of time.
Then it's so good to get right back into it again. I'm like, I miss it, but then it's good to chill.
Yeah, cool.
It's like hiding out in the woods and then coming back down to civilization for a little while. And you're like, all right, I enjoyed having running water.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to make everyone go deaf. I apologize.
As they say in chat, rip headphone users. That is quite all right. That happens, whatever. Which is a good time to profusely apologize and thank all of our new listeners who just tuned out, I guess, on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and those watching live right now on Twitch, YouTube. Yes, I'm looking at you guys over there on the YouTube chat right now, Facebook and Steam, or later on the VOD via YouTube. If you are enjoying the program, we would love for you to give us a big ol' like, follow, or favorite, because Tyrene said so from the grave we put her in.
I'll definitely fix it for the recording. I had to redo like an entire computer's worth of things this morning, so apparently I screwed one thing up. Apologies, you guys, but it's fine. Everything is good now.
Everything's okay. It's all okay.
Whatever. I just made sure everybody was awake.
Yes. Yes. If you weren't awake, you bet your butt you are now.
Yes. And speaking of things to wake up and see, Guardian Takedown is out right now, as many of you know. Seems to be a bit of a divisive hot topic right now. I loved Guardian Takedown quite a bit, but there are some in the community who are feeling like it's maybe not in the best direction. We'll see what happens. I encourage everybody to go out there, play it, especially on your most comfortable mayhem level as possible. Make your own decisions about it, draw your own conclusions. I still think it's amazing, but I could understand some of the concerns that the community is sharing right now. Borderlands, the Legendary Collection, is out on the Switch. I know we keep talking about it, but you should still get it, because it's fun to have Borderlands on the go, because when things open up, you're going to want it when you're traveling. DLC 3, Bounty of Blood. We're going to be talking about it a lot. It's out right now. And that Steam Summer Sale, full swing. Borderlands 3 in all of its forms is 50% off, normal, deluxe, and super deluxe, so make sure you are getting it. The Season Pass is 20% off, and there are lots of cool things that you can unlock on Steam using your Steam points, featuring Borderlands 3, emotes, profile backgrounds, all that jazz. You know you want it when you're bothering your friends on Steam. I bother my wife by sending her psycho emotes. It's fun, especially when she's alive. Might do that later on. There are only 2 days left before the end of the Steam Summer Sale, so make sure that you are taking full advantage of all these deals before they're gone.
That's a lot. That's so many things.
Yeah. It's good though. It's like there's so many layers to everything going on. You know, I wanted to open it up just real quick, and I actually don't have this, but I did want to talk about this. Guardian Takedown. How are you both feeling about it right now? Because I want to see, we've had about a month or so of time to kind of digest it and enjoy it. What are your thoughts on it now, right now in this moment?
Well, so I've had kind of an interesting experience, because basically on my own, I was able to, like, with my build that was kind of a build that I put together based on Lazy Data's Hellzerker build. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. But I'm just not that OP. So I was only really able to do like Mayhem 4, Mayhem 6. Mayhem 6 was the highest that I was able to do on that build. And then Triple G came into the picture and we got to know him over at UVH, and he just gave me this really fun build to try and was like, here you go, just try this. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Just jump in, we'll go together. It'll be a good time. And so I ran it no problem with that. And then like last week, and then just yesterday, he gave me an Amara build to try. Like told me a little bit about it. Before he gave me the build, he didn't tell me anything about it. But after we had started playing the takedown, he explained some things and how to use her, and I was having a blast. This crazy Amara build. And then we get to the end, and as we're killing the boss, he's like, so I think that might have been your first true takedown mode. And I was sitting on Mayhem 10, and I'm sitting there like, what? Excuse me? Say that again. So he ninja turned it all the way up. And it was doable. Granted, this is a completely insane Amara melee build that you don't do melee in. You shoot things, but everything you shoot, all of your like gun damage is actually melee damage. It's insane. It's a glorious, glorious build. It's really fun to play. But with that build, I had no trouble with it, like at all on Mayhem 10, which is crazy. So I don't know. I feel like for your average person, for your average player, your mostly casual player, like somebody like me who may not have the time to farm like crazy, they might struggle, because I did, you know. But if you do have a lot of time to farm, and or you get one of these builds from one of the YouTubers or one of the streamers that you love, and you sort of get those perfect items and get that min-max build, it can be quite doable. I wouldn't call it easy, but I'm really not that OP, and I was able to do it without too much trouble. So I feel like it fits what the developers were trying to accomplish, where it's really like at the highest level, true takedown, Mayhem 10, it's challenging. It's very, very challenging. It's doable, but it's the hardest content in the game. So it's understandable that not every player and not every build is going to be able to do that Mayhem 10 true takedown mode, right? Like my kind of relatively normal-ish, build wasn't really up to par, but some crazy builds are. So I think it's in a good place. The actual like experience of doing the takedown, taking away the difficulty, I think is incredible. I love the scenery. I love the story of it. I love the fact that it's this like blown out planet and you're seeing space and you're seeing guardians, and I like the platforming. It's really not that bad. Like it definitely has my heart in my throat a couple times there, but that's kind of part of the fun. And once you get used to the patterns of things, it's really not that bad. And so like I've definitely done worse jumping puzzles before. So I don't know. I really like it. I think the crystal mechanic is really interesting. I understand that it kind of isn't exactly in line with some previous Borderlands content, but I think that's a good thing in this particular case. I think some departures that make things more interesting are good. And it's optional content. You don't have to do it at all. The best loot in the game right now is in the DLC, not in Guardian Takedown. So it's just kind of a really cool way to challenge yourself if you're in the mood for a challenge, or to test a crazy build, or just to, run through a crazy, beautiful environment with some jumping puzzles, and it's a good time.
Yeah. Tweety, what do you think about it?
So when the change happened, when it first came out, I was struggling hardcore. I'm like, oh, Mayhem 10, let's do it. I got a really good build. Let's go for it. Yeah, that didn't go very well the start. But once the update happened, and then Triple also threw a build at me. He gave me his clone build. And that was,
what a guy,
that's a fun time. I tell you what, you just put down your clone, you sit back. I was starting to just eat food while my clone was killing everything. I was just chilling. There was no hints. All I had to do was not fall off the edge, which I still did. But, you know, clone couldn't save me from that one. You actually could, if you plan for it, you could keep your clone off the edge, and in case you just have an oh crap button and you teleport back to your clone, just in case if you miss up the platforming stuff. But it's been a lot of fun. You pretty much just like once the clone, it also when the DLC came out, or not the DLC, the Guardian Takedown came out in the first place, I was like, a clone build would be very nice. It wasn't usually it's just a Sentinel and the dome. That's all you pretty much had. But like a clone build would be really nice. And then the patch came out. I'm like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for the whole time. I could use my clone. It's here, and now it's just insane. I could just let it sit back. It does everything for me. I just like it now. And it's fun running it through with a whole bunch of group of people, see how fast we can go. And then sometimes like you're going through with everybody. You do all the killing, and then you get to the platforming, and then you just see your teammate just jump, and then they jump right off the edge. You're like, I just saw that just right in front of my eyes. And then you're just going to leave us all alone like that. It's great.
Ugh. Yeah, you guys are going to get Zane nerfed. I don't want that. He's finally in a good place. No.
No nerfs.
It'll be really
please.
sad. Yeah. It's
so good.
Yeah. It's about time. I'm very excited and happy to see that these buffs have kind of come through, and that Triple G, who actually fun plug for our sister show, Ultimate Vault Hunters, Triple G did an episode. It wound up being a really good one. You should go back and watch it at some point. He talks about the Zane of all trades, which is a Zane build that takes all 3 skill trees and makes them their own entities so that you can do ridiculous amounts of damage and have fun. So if you haven't, look into that. And I actually can't wait because there is somebody, and I don't want to say it until Thursday, but there is somebody that has been requested for Ultimate Vault Hunter several times, especially for you guys over on YouTube. You guys have said in the comments many times you want this person. Let's see who it is until Thursday. But we managed to get them on the show. I'm very happy for that. That said, yes, Borderlands is the community is a little divisive right now with Guardian Takedown, but one thing that I think we can all agree on has been Bounty of Blood. Everybody seems to be having a lot of fun with that. So let's jump right into it with this past week. How was your past week in Borderlands, Tweety? Like, what did you do? I know you went on vacation. Did you have any time to play on that, or was it mostly a before your vacation kind of situation?
Mostly just did a whole bunch of doing the DLC, going through, doing all the side quests, doing all 100% in the DLC. I have to say, everything's lovely, but then when I went to go 100%, I could not for the life of me find those crew challenges. The teleporting, I love it dearly. It's amazing. But it makes it so those things are so hidden around the map because you have a teleporter over here when the actual crew challenge is like across the map. I'm like, it was just looking at every nook and cranny. I found them. But man, it was fun just looking around the map, and you can see all the details. I just like everywhere you look, there's something new, something different. Like, whoa, over there, there's a car and a tree. And over there's a picture of all the devs. It's just every little details. It was kind of cool.
Time out. I want to rewind that real quick. Where the hell is there a car and a tree?
There's a car and a tree. You don't know that?
Either. No,
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, there's a car and a tree. I'm like, that's where I park. That's how it is normally. There's a car and a tree. It's just I'm like, oh yeah, you picked my car where I usually park. You put it in the game. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Perhaps they attended the Baru School of Parking too, because boy, he I remember the old days. He did not drive. I was talking about that on stream earlier today. But really, wow. So there's still a lot out there that I personally haven't done any of the crew challenges at all. So that's crazy.
I did a couple kind of by accident as I was playing through. Like I saw like a place to go, and I was like, "Ooh, secrets! I must go. I must check." And then, oh, it's a crew challenge. Cool. But I definitely haven't done everything. I haven't 100%ed it yet because I'm missing a bunch of the side quests still and a couple of the crew challenges. So I'm still kind of working my way through it. I've been distracted by doing ridiculously crazy Guardian Takedown, apparently. I didn't know. And it's funny because I like the build that you're talking about, the AFK Zane. He gave me that one, and we did that one last week, and it was glorious, and it wasn't that bad. And so then we went in with Amara, and I was like, this seems harder. It's really fun, but it's definitely a little bit harder than the other build. And he's like, it's okay. Don't worry. We'll make it through. And then we get to the end. He's like, so by the way, that was on True Takedown. And I was like, what? It was funny. It was very, very funny. But I want to spend more time with the DLC. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I definitely want to spend more time with the DLC. It's so beautiful and so just interesting how they put like different genres together and different everything together, it's so interesting visually. It's so interesting in terms of the narration, which was so unusual and so nice to experience. It was really, really cool.
It all somehow still worked though. It's just like there's so many new elements that we've never seen in these games before, and they all somehow just mesh together so well. It's just like the narrator's new, never had that. No new characters or no old characters coming back. Everyone seemed to fit in the DLC and the visual aspects of it and the story. It's just chef's kiss. It's beautiful.
Where would you rate it? Where would you rate it on the DLC scale? If let's do Borderlands 3, because I know we could be here all day. Like,
that's an impossible question.
They're all so good. Yeah. Like that's what they do. Like DLC so well that they each have their own beautiful aspects of them. I think right now it's top one for me for Borderlands 3.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. It's
what do you think gives it the edge?
It's just the whole visual, like the setting, and it's just, even though there's not like, even when you're just running around like the deserty type things, it's just there's so much to look at. There's so many different details. It's just the details. That's what really, like when Borderlands 3 first came out, I spent I think 2 hours around Sanctuary looking every nook and cranny, just looking at Sanctuary. So that's what I still need to do more of it in the DLC, but man, it's lovely. The setting is beautiful. I didn't think it could work that way, but it did.
And you know what? It came out great. I mean, like, it's just, this is what I mean. This is why I wanted to have you come on, and I'm glad that you agreed to, because when we really break down this later half of this DLC, I can imagine you just going crazy. I think I almost want to get started on it now and wait for hot fixes applied until later, because why not? Like, you're gunning for it. You're like ready to have this conversation.
I'll go all into it.
You know what, Tess, you wanna jump right in?
Sure, of course.
All right. In that case, let's start with it. We left off at the second half of the DLC when we were last talking with Moxie, and we didn't have a chance to kind of go into the Obsidian Forest, which was, I thought it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever actually been in when it came to Borderlands, because it reminded me of Caustic Caverns, but it wasn't as grimy and dark and dank as Caustic Caverns. It has these beautiful obsidian structures, stalactites, stalagmites, all of that fun stuff. Just all over the place, and then the tram running overhead all over the place, which I'm told apparently you can get hit by at some point. Like, you can get enemies to get. I didn't know that. Wow. I don't. Yeah, because I was talking about Vermi and how I want Vermi to come back, but I used to hang out by the farmhouse in Tundra Express because I wanted to hit Vermi with the train, because that's the easiest way to kill it, right? And we're going old school Borderlands 2 again, of course.
Of course.
But Vermi comes back, but there's no way to instantly kill Vermi anymore, because that kind of jank isn't in the game now. So it popped in my mind. All right. So yes, Tweety, tell us about the Obsidian Forest. What'd you love?
What are those those deer things? I don't even remember their name anymore. I'm just like staring at them.
The Bellics.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yes. They're so cool. They're so
they
cool.
are. I'm like, they're like deadly deer just browsing around. They're gonna like get me. And then they have that tail whip. I didn't think that they could, like, what, I don't know what it is. It just reminds me of a deer, but it's so beautiful and deadly at the same time. And then the boss came, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to run away, but I need to look at it because it's so beautiful. Yeah, I was just overwhelmed the first time, because I'm just like, I don't know what to pay attention to. All these new guns, the beautiful aspects of it. It's not dingy. I thought it would, like, we're going into a cave. It's going to be dingy and dark. But like then you have the small little light elements of like all the little flora that's around, and it makes it so it's not just boring corners of darkness. It's just little twists and turns of like the pools of they're like water, but it's like shiny and bright. So it gives little elements of nice shiny brightness instead of just being dark.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's such every new location in Borderlands has been so gorgeous in the whole game with each DLC. Like it blows me away how each DLC has so many different environments. It's crazy. Like Handsome Jackpot is definitely one of my all-time favorites, and it has so many completely different from each other locations in this space casino, like Space Vegas. It's a city more than just a single casino, although casinos are kind of like that, but it's just crazy. And you know, the next two DLC have gone even beyond that. Like there's so many different cool locations, and Obsidian Forest is just beautiful. I agree. I didn't expect it. I'm not sure what I was expecting exactly, but I was blown away when I first got there, and I really liked kind of just being in that space. The whole DLC, there's so many like little touches with how it's styled and how the characters are styled, and Rose herself is incredible, of course, but it's just amazing to me. It's amazing to me that there's so many different beautiful locations, and it's just eye candy. Like playing this game is just eye candy all the time. It's great.
What did you guys think of Valletta, the grandma? Is that so? I have a lore question. Are we establishing her as it, because it's kind of like implied, hinted, winked at, stated almost outright, but you can't take Rose seriously with it. Is that supposed to be Rose's grandma? Is that who that is?
I thought that, but then they never say. So
yeah,
I don't know if you're supposed to assume yes or assume.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
It does in the context of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's really hard to know for sure. Maybe. I feel like it makes sense. But maybe we're wrong. I mean, I thought Rose was a good guy for about 5 seconds in the beginning.
Knowing Rose, she could have killed the rest of her family because that's just how she is. So who knows? Like, we don't know any more backstory. I would love to know more backstory. Because, like, there's that one Echo thing where we know where the whistling's from. But that's all I remember for backstory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know that much about Rose. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be her mom, the whistling thing, right?
Yeah.
Like she said that whistle would save her life one day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're jumping all over the place, I guess, but so jump to the end. She's still alive, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. She and Captain Scarlet need to team up and come back in a future DLC. I'm committed to making
that'd be great.
A top priority for things to complain about loudly on the internet now.
I feel like, okay, so I know Lilith is like gone away, but she's not fully gone. It would be really cool to see Lilith and Rose in the same
ultimate
place.
Battle.
Yeah, like fight it out. Maybe it won't happen until Borderlands 4 if that happens, hopefully. But like, who knows? It would just be really cool to have them both in a room together, just like not necessarily even duking it out, but just like doing something either against each other or together. Together would be kind of cool. Like maybe there's a really big bad and, you know, they have to team up to like, you know, the enemy of my enemy kind of situation. That would be interesting.
I would like that a lot, actually. That would be super cool to see how they have to work together. There's hints of supernatural energy around her. Her eyes turn green, like gold,
the glowing.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I want to know what that's all about for sure.
It's like it's the core energy thing, whatever that's from.
But
exactly.
What exactly is core? Is it like iridium? Is it corrupted iridium? I don't know. Is she a siren? Did they like try to make a synthetic siren? Is that what that's about? I don't know. It's crazy.
I really like the idea of corrupted iridium.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that goes real like old school Lovecraftian or demonic kind of thing, and that opens up a whole host of other opportunities. Yeah, but I can't see that making a return in the immediate future. Just because it feels like we already have what DLC 4 is going to be, where it's going to be set, who's going to be starring in it for the most part, as far as we know. and then we'll just kind of move on from there. I don't know. It leaves so many open-ended questions, more than a DLC typically does. Usually it's everything's tied in a nice neat bow at the end, and then we go, all right, let's go kill some bosses over and over again. This time it's very, very, very open-ended as to everything about this DLC. And I don't think that was like, most people would say, oh, well, that's bad writing. I think that was actually intentional. I think that this is a DLC that kind of they slid under the radar to set up a lot of new things for whatever comes next in the world of Borderlands after DLC 4. That's just my opinion. Really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
It can lead to a lot of different storylines afterwards, which is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of like open kind of threads, you know. And I didn't feel like they didn't complete the story or anything. I did. I felt satisfied at the end of it, but I definitely see like all the little open threads to unravel things in the future, and it would be really cool.
So after the Obsidian Forest, we took a walk through Blood Sun Canyon. I don't know how many actually like this had, I want to say, 1 or 2 side quests in it. So it's tough sometimes for me to visualize it, but I remember a lot of what was there, if I recall, was a lot of what was shown in a lot of the promotional material. So when somebody punched the plant, that's where the explosion came out. A lot of the teleportation stuff that we got to see, we saw a lot of that early on. I enjoyed the semi claustrophobic nature of the area. It felt like a canyon. Somebody mentioned Minecraft the other day. It felt a little like Minecraft too, when you're going through like a ravine and you're trying to navigate all the way around and stuff like that. Obviously not the block punching aspects of it, but how claustrophobic it was when you were going through and around all the different paths in the area. So.
Yeah,
I like the oh man, what's that? The side quest, the burning, where you try to have that guy be scared because you're making that monster. That's one of the best side quests in my opinion.
Meat Man.
That's
what a dumb name. It is. Man, kids. I love, but it's great.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god, and they almost made it sound like, okay, it's weird because we have Rackman, but they made Meat Man also kind of sound like Rackman.
Yeah,
what Batman should be in the Borderlands universe. But oh my god, Tess, have you done this one yet?
No, I haven't. I don't think I've done any of the side quests beyond the Obsidian Forest, actually. So I still have a lot of work to do.
Oh my god, it's okay. I'm sure Tweety and I won't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna sum it up this way. You put together a folk legend monster, kind of, who enacts justice, apparently.
Interesting.
And you have a choice. You
do have a choice.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. We have to go back to the Iridium Forest. Speaking of choices, beans.
Oh,
the greatest threat to society. Beans.
The beans, not the beans. Oh, they are so energetic about their beans.
They were. Tess, did you do that one?
Oh my, that's another great one.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, Tweety, we might not have to have you on next week too to talk about this.
All the side quests.
I blame Triple G distracted me with crazy Guardian takedown shenanigans.
Too many good builds.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on side quests tomorrow. I'm streaming Borderlands tomorrow. I will work on side quests and I will finish all the side quests hopefully this week.
Okay, Tweety, I sold her on Meat Man. Do you want to try without any spoilers to like sell her on beans? Try and sell her on that side quest without any spoilers.
Beans are the way of life. And that's it.
Fair. That's a fair statement.
You're on a mission to find some beans. Good luck. And you have a choice. How do you like your beans? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
I don't quite know how to answer that.
Crisis with beans.
A crisis with beans.
All right.
That's how it is, yeah.
All right then.
Okay.
I have beans to look forward to.
You do, and we are not full of beans when we say that this quest is worth doing. Okay, no more beans.
Oh, that puns.
Yeah, I know, it's awful. So something happened at the end of Blood Sun Canyon, and I think this is probably one of the singular coolest events that ever happened in all of Borderlands. And I say that because we got to see it happen in real time and feel it in real time. Butcher Rose detonates a nuke.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. I can't emphasize enough how cool it was to be standing on that ridge and looking out into the horizon and watching a green mushroom cloud come up from the basin. And then at the end of everything that you're talking about, you just get slapped in the face backwards by the shockwave of this bomb going off. It's something I don't think we've ever seen on that kind of scale in a Borderlands game before. And just that one moment was so emotionally connecting in everything happening to and around us in the game. And I can't emphasize enough. I know we talked about it very briefly, but now we can get into it a little bit more. Just that one pivotal moment. You know, how did you guys feel about it?
Usually we stop those kind of moments before they even happen. Usually we stop the explosions and the crazy destruction. So it's like when it finally happened, I'm like, wait, we actually caused damage now. Things are happening.
It was really crazy to see that happen, like not in a cutscene, you know, to see it live in game where you're yourself, you're in your first person perspective and you're running and you're trying, like, especially when I thought that I could get there, you know, and I'm like getting there and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running and I'm like, oh my God, no. And it just like happens. And it was very, I don't know, shocking kind of, and awesome and intense, very intense. Very cool.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, Tess. First person perspective is so much better for this is just an opinion, obviously, but to experience everything happening around you, especially in a Borderlands game, it's nicer to be in that moment and know that whatever is going on is affecting the Vault Hunter, us, the character, and then also simultaneously affecting the world around us in profound ways. And it's not to take away anything from cutscenes. It's just in Borderlands 3, just the base game, one of the big gripes that I kind of had with it in the way that they were telling the story was that almost all of the cutscenes were things happening to characters in front of us that weren't affecting us, or we didn't even technically exist for. The only time I think that ever occurred to, like, or it happened to us was, and I'm doing a playthrough this week of, I'm building up a flak finally for the first time ever. And when Troy phase locks you and pulls you into the room in the Jacobs mansion, and you are stuck there and you have to actually listen to Troy tell this entire story about his character, who he is, where he comes from, his resentments, you know, his aspirations. It's a big moment for Troy's character growth, and it's happening to us, the player, as opposed to us listening to the converse to Lilith or Tannis or anybody else. I think is a big moment. And this moment where the nuke goes off is in the same vein. This is happening to us right now in real time. We're seeing it and reacting to it. And I think it makes it a far more powerful moment as a result.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. It was very like shocking and like visceral to have that happen in your face. It was very cool. It was also very beautiful for an explosion of doom and gloom. It was absolutely gorgeous when it happened. Like the sky
like,
was
oh,
all these
bad
colors.
things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's pretty too.
It's really, really pretty. It was really, really cool to see that. I mean, Borderlands is just such a beautiful game. Like I literally I think I'm so slow at doing things because half the time I'm just like running around going, ooh, pretty, so beautiful. I just like everything around is so beautiful, and everything. There's all these like tiny little details all over the place. I just noticed. God, where was I? I think I was in Mollywood Takedown, And I have done the Molly One takedown like 100 gazillion times, and I thought I had found everything in it there was to find and seen everything in it there was to see. And in the very beginning, when you first spawn in, there's like a little tiny box, like before you jump down to where you can even start the thing. There's like a little tiny box with a little tiny gear on it. And I'm like, oh, it's a gearbox. And I hadn't noticed it before. Yeah. And I was like, this is so cute. It literally was it just warmed my heart. And I mean, I discovered this in like a spot that I had seen literally a gazillion times. I just hadn't noticed it before. And there's so many little places like that and little things like that in this game. Like there's the overarching beauty of it, and then every little tiny detail, every hand-drawn black line, every hand-inked, black line. It's just incredible. And this DLC is definitely like that. That explosion was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Gearbox likes to sneak those in. That goes all the way back to their first game, Opposing Force. There is a level in Opposing Force called Pit Worm. You have to fight a giant worm. Well, not really fight, but you have to kill it somehow. And there's a couple things that you have to fill up. One of them is a valve, because of Valve, which they were working with at the time, because it's an expansion for Half-Life. And the other is you have to fix the gearbox in order to get it to work. And it's this giant platform, and you see the two of them there. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's good. I see what you did there. That was very smart. And then, what is it? Borderlands 2. You have to, what is it? Scooter asks you to fix a gearbox.
Right.
Three something canyon. I can never remember the name, but you know, at the motel when you're fixing all the electricity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to fix a valve and a gearbox and something else, and it's like, oh, you did it again.
The little things.
Yeah, the little things. They like to sneak it in. They never did that in 3, as far as I could tell. There was never an overt gearbox reference. Unless I'm wrong here. Do you guys remember one?
I don't think there's an overt one that I can think of, but there's definitely some little cute ones like that little box like that I found.
Yeah.
Small things.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Small things. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. So we set off a nuke. Or accidentally, I guess we don't prevent a nuke from getting set off because Rose is just too smart for us and gets away with it. So now we have to deal with the fallout of that decision, which is a giant radioactive turtle, apparently.
That was such a cool monster and such an awesome fight. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
I kind of blazed through it. What were your experiences with it?
At first, I blazed through it because I had the Monarch still, because that's just what I went into the thing. So I'm like, oh, but then I'm like, before I kill it, I'm like, wait, there's the portal things, and then you could go below, and I'm like, wait, I don't want to kill it yet. Hold on. So then I went underneath. I'm like, this is gosh dang cool. I actually want to be less powerful now instead of being more powerful. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, my character that I first went in on was my like normal character, and it was like it was. She wasn't powerful enough to like wipe the floor with anything, which was nice. There was one thing in the beginning that I killed kind of quickly, one of the early bosses. But everything else was kind of like a good, appropriate level. And that final boss was definitely like kind of a drawn out fight. And it was a really good experience. That whole going underground thing. The only bad thing about it was I like turtles. They're cute.
I like turtles.
You could actually, so if you know it, do you know the dev picture where you can find like on the wall and then the room?
I haven't found that yet.
Oh my gosh.
Another I have so much work to do.
Where
I'm not good at video games, so
you can go and you can go to a room and it has an entire wall of all developers that worked on the DLC. And it shows like they're in like kind of a Western theme and stuff, but you actually see a miniature version of the main boss to the side of them. So it kind of, I found that picture before. You can find it actually in a house, maybe I think 2 houses, where it's actually a picture framed and on the wall. But there's an actual room, I think, after you finish the full entire DLC. But it referenced that you could actually see the end boss before you even face it.
Wow.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah,
What
that's cool.
you mentioned during the final boss fight that they're like you get sent somewhere else. I killed it really, really fast. So I don't know what you're talking about.
So there's
what happens?
I don't know if there's like 4 corners or 3 corners, like the main pit where he's usually at. He can then go and run across or burrow through, and it burrows through the ground, and you can teleport through one of the teleporters where its head is sticking through the ground, and you have this under cavern area where it's all green and the core is all glowing everything, and you can start shooting crit spots down there instead.
So he's
it's actually really beautiful there.
Yeah, he's also up, like, for me, he was upside down. So, like, you teleport in there. He burrows down into the ground, and you go through a teleporter, and then you're on a platform, and he's above you on the ceiling of the cavern, like, crawling around, and you can shoot the crit spots on his back. It's really freaking cool. You don't want to kill this thing too quickly, because you miss that, and it's really, 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 really neat. I went down there a couple of times, and it was really cool to see that. Definitely.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm dead serious. I literally killed it so fast that I have never. That reminds me a little bit of the Leviathan.
Yeah.
In Captain Scarlet's Booty Bay, which is
it kind of does.
Yeah, because you go underground and you fight this giant thing, and it's like, oh, but instead of it being on the ground this way, now it's coming down from the ceiling. I mean, that
is the other way.
Yeah, I like that. That was really nice. So yeah. The boss fight seems like there's many layers to it that I didn't even know about. I imagine there's probably a couple of people who probably rushed through it too, who did not know that was a thing either. So now I have to go back and do it. I'm going to actually probably play it on my Flak playthrough. Yeah, because I know I'm not going to kill it fast enough on that because I'm still bad at Flak. So we'll see what happens.
Got to take your time.
I do. That's my problem. When you're OP, you're used to just killing everything and being like, cool, that was a great thing to see. I'm gonna go do it 5 more times as fast as I can so I can get loot. And you forget that there are like steps to actually doing this game. And if you miss those steps, sometimes you miss out on really, really cool things, such as going underground and fighting this boss from a very unique perspective. That's my bad. That's on me. So yeah. And Rose disappears. As we said before, there's no body. She like it, not even, I was gonna say she like force ghosts, where she just becomes one with the force, but that doesn't even happen because her clothes don't like fall to the ground. Just her entire being, poof, clothes and all, just where'd it go?
Yeah, she just vanishes. We have no idea what happens to her. I'm absolutely positive that she'll return someday, but we have no idea in what form or shape or when or how, but I hope she does, because she was really freaking cool.
They already have like the teleporting technology, so she just could have just poofed away with whatever.
The Twitch chat is currently saying, and I said a few people brought this up earlier too, that the narrator says we killed Rose. So either the the narrator is not omnipotent and therefore does not know Rose's true fate, or we're left maybe with a situation where can we actually trust the narrator here? Did he get this one right, or did he get it wrong? And if he got it wrong, was it on purpose?
When the last room comes, he actually says they can't find her body. So that could mean where thought they were dead, but could not find the body at the end. So who knows?
No.
Yeah, so a couple of people in chat, Triple G, hi, and some others saying that the narrator does call himself a liar at one point, which I remember that, like in the very beginning, doesn't he? So maybe he lied. I don't know.
We don't know who the narrator is either. That's another
we have no idea. We have no idea.
No idea.
So I hope we see both the narrator and Rose return. That is my
that'd be so good.
Hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Getting real crowded in my sky. I gotta tell you, just there's so many different characters that are out there now. So many loose ends. So many plot points to converge on. If there is a Borderlands 4, it's going to need to be really, really big. Like, I'm talking massive scale at this point. Yeah. Because if they want to tie all of this together and then like push everything forward with all of the stuff that has been set up over the past 3 games, we couldn't even fit all of it into Borderlands 3. we got to visit a world, we got to hang out with some people we really enjoyed, and then we left. And we did that like 5 times. That was great. Especially when you got to meet me. Even though I died that one time. That one sucked. I'm sad about that.
So sad.
Yeah, there's so many worlds in the Borderlands still to explore. It's really, 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 really cool. There's just so much potential. There's so much potential for more, and I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for DLC 4.
Oh man.
Yeah, if the last 3 DLC are anything to go by, it's gonna be totally ridiculously cool. I can't even imagine. I mean, I think it's gonna blow us all away.
Yeah. 112% agree. It's gonna be crazy.
Krieg is one of my favorite characters, like of all the entire series. So, like, man, I'm excited.
Everybody keeps saying that. Tweety, help me out here. Why Krieg?
Why? Okay, all right. His play style in 2 was absolutely amazing. Different than anything that we've seen before. His background of like the two-sided mind, where some is crazy, some is the normal, regular side. Then he's got the injection things. He's got so much going on that I want to understand. It's just like the contrast of he's internally fighting and then he's externally fighting with the hatchets and the buzz sacks, and it's beautiful. He's such a well done character. I love him so much, and I'm excited to see him again. I'm so excited.
How do you think he's going to react to his untimely demise?
His angry side is going to be not happy, and it could be like part of the main reason of the DLC. So I don't know. He's got to find out one of these days.
Yeah, I think it's going to be insane. I mean, I think it's going to break our hearts a little bit again, both for Krieg and for all of us not having Maya anymore. Very, very, very upsetting set of circumstances. But you know, I mean, somehow we'll have to help him sort of deal with it, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from this DLC, but I know it's going to be totally crazy.
They could go about it so many different ways that it's just, I'm excited to see what they have.
Yeah, it's. I think that. I hate to say wait and see, because I want to sit here and speculate all day. But I guess for now we don't have anything besides one still of that fractured mind with the colors on both sides of it, and that's all we've got for now. So hopefully we'll get more about that in the next couple months, because I know everybody is riding that high of DLC 3 and they want more. So we'll get there.
Definitely.
I was gonna say any favorite side quests, but I think we covered probably some of the best ones already. Although Tess, did you do McSmugger?
I have homework. I have so much homework. I know. I swear. I totally blame Triple G. Triple G, this is all your fault. Thank you. But I blame him, and I thank him because I've just been too distracted by the takedown. I never did quite this much takedown so well, so it's been good. But yes, I have DLC homework. So I've done the actual story several times now, 3 or 4 times, but I haven't done the DLC yet. So I'm sorry, the side quests in the DLC yet. So that's plan for very soon.
Here's my sales pitch on the side quest of McSmugger. You truly will become the essence of McSmugger. That is my selling point for you. That is my tease. You will understand in time.
She did do the soap quest one. That one's a good one of mine. I like that one.
Oh yeah. Just loading him up, trying to get him clean so he'll finally come out of the sauna.
That one was hilarious.
Yeah. That one was really, really good. See, I told you, I knew you would like that one. You were a little hesitant. You're like, wait, you're giving this guy a bath? Trust me on this one, Tess. I didn't do a good job of selling it, but I promise you'll like it. It was good.
Pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. I like that side quest. It was funny. It was definitely funny. That whole baths area was really, really beautiful too. It was really cool. To
absolutely. 22 new guns. 22. And one of them is a returning favorite. What do you think is worth checking out, Tweety?
My personal favorite is the light show. I got that pistol
Mine too.
just dropped while going through, and the light show has been beautiful. I took Triple G's clone build, and I ran through Mallow and Takedown completely blindfolded. Like, no, completely blindfolded through Mallow and Takedown, and tried to kill the Valkyries with the clone build and light speed, and it was interesting.
I saw some clips of that. It's totally insane. Blindfolded?
Completely blindfolded.
Like blindfolded?
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually used the mask that they sent me as the blindfold.
Yes, I have mine too, actually. Oh my god.
Yeah. I used that as a blindfold and just ran through Mallow on Takedown, completely blindfolded, and just was putting it up on YouTube. So.
Oh my goodness. I did not know that. That's crazy. Where did that come from? What motivated you to do that?
It was one of my moments as I slowly try to drift off to bed, and then all of a sudden, like, Borderlands is coming into my mind. That was just like, what would be fun if I ran through Mallow and Takedown blindfolded? In my head, I thought, oh, it's not a bad idea. And then it took like 6 hours to try to just figure out what to do.
But you did it.
It was complicated, yeah.
But you did it. So light show, that seems to be one. Tess, I remember Tess brought that up last week as well. Some of them keep telling me about the beacon.
I tried the beacon and I liked it a lot, but not as much as the light show. I think my other favorite might be the flipper. It's an SMG, really, really, really fun SMG. And then the, oh God, what is it called?
Does it shoot dolphins?
No. Root? The root, yes, thank you.
The root is insane.
Yeah, the root is freaking ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And the effect that it has, all the ricochets, is so cool looking. It's amazing. And it's extremely powerful. That's actually what I killed Rose with that first time.
Oh.
Really?
Because one dropped for me pretty early on. I think I was doing it on Mayhem 6 that first playthrough, just to kind of like chill and check out the story. And I got a root to drop on Mayhem 6, and then I used it on the Mayhem 10 playthrough also because it was just so OP. It was ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's nice to see. I hear Mose does really well with the Herald. The Herald has returned as well. Everybody else seems to be struggling a little bit with it because it's not as heraldy as we were used to, but Mose makes good use of it because of all the splash damage that comes along with it. So she seems to be the only one that's kind of making it work. But it's cool. I kind of like that though. I like that there are some guns that can be more specialized on certain characters and some guns that are like general purpose guns. So
I bet people were calling for the Herald to come back for so long because they wanted it. It was such a amazing gun in Borderlands 2. It's just they wanted to feel overpowered, but like you can't have a gun like a Herald again in Borderlands 3 with the same amount of power. It still does damage, but like it's just smaller and more character specific like Mose, so it works perfectly.
My issue with it is it doesn't feel at all the same to shoot, and like maybe I've just been spoiled by all the other really good guns. I don't know. I feel like it's a little like the recoil is really crazy, and so it feels not quite like the old Herald. Like I wouldn't even mind if it didn't do as much damage. I just wish it felt a little different to shoot, I guess. Because I remember being okay with the old one and like very okay with the old one and not so much with this one. But I don't know. I agree with you that I think we need new overpowered guns, not returning overpowered guns. But it would have been nice if it felt the same or as close to the same as possible. Oh no. Technical difficulties.
We've lost them.
Oh no. There we go.
There you are. Yay.
For those of you listening at home, for some reason my microphone was muted. Have no idea how that happened. But okay.
Of technical difficulties.
Why not? We might as well just change the title now to Technical Difficulties starring Tess and Mitsu. Wonderful. Featuring TweetyExp. Oh, that'd be great. I was going to say, we're talking about all these guns and everything. There is somebody who needed no guns whatsoever in this DLC. A wonderful woman by the name of Juno. who a lot of us got to know over the course of this DLC and prefers to use giant meat cleavers
Oh my gosh.
instead of weapons, which was badass, and I never use that term. Where did Juno come from, though? That is the brainchild of several different people, but the one that kind of gave the entire concept life was a wonderful person by the name of Amanda Christensen, who some of you may know from their artwork, the concept artist extraordinaire at Gearbox, who put together on Twitter the other day some early designs for what Juno looks like in, Juno's inception phase and as this concept and character was trying to be developed. I also found out, and this was really cool too, that the inspiration for the character was Olympic shot putter Valerie Adams.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Ooh, she definitely looks that part. I would
Strong
never challenge
heck.
that woman. She is strong as heckadoodles. And it's awesome. It's awesome to it's so cool that anybody can do anything when you think about it, and you see Valerie and you're like, oh yeah, she could put a shot a put. Yeah, and it's cool. Like, I love it. So.
It's really cool to learn the backstory of how these characters kind of came into being in the artist's mind, in the first place, and like where the inspiration came from, because definitely Juno is a very strong character. I can totally see why the sheriff chose her, even though she was kind of on the outskirts. She always had the town's best sort of like the best intentions for the town at heart, even when it could cost her life, it was going to cost her life. She chose the welfare of the town over her own. So I think she was absolutely the right choice for sheriff, and she's definitely strong enough to hold that position, It was really, really cool. It was cool to see her fight. It was cool to kind of get to know her. She was a very cool character. This concept art is absolutely beautiful.
I think with Juno, you can see a lot of her development here. She's gone through so many phases, and some of these you see she has hair. For those of you who might be listening across the podcasts, we have designs where she's wearing very heavy coats, which in a desert is a little strange. Others where she's wearing vests. Some she has shaved hair. Some she doesn't. Some she's wearing big Russian or like Canadian hats with the earmuffs covering them too. She's got so many cowboy hats. She's sometimes holding actually in all of these, except for one, she's holding a very large rifle. So up until I imagine late in the development process, Juno probably was actually going to be some sort of sniper from the looks of things. But I think that late in the design changes, I see here, Amanda has one where she's holding her signature cleaver, at least one of them. They must have.
I was more scared of her with a cleaver than I would be with a gun. I tell you what.
She's really tall too. Like, I don't know. So I haven't played the DLC as Flack yet. But I played as Zane and Amara, and both of them are much shorter than Juno. Juno like towers over you. Like, you walk up to her and you're like, whoa. And it's just really intimidating and really cool, as someone put in chat. And she's very impressive. Like, she leaves you with a very strong impression of like, this is a strong person that can absolutely lead this town. It's really cool. Definitely really cool. Also, little known fact, but deserts can be extremely cold, especially at night. So I get where the outfit kind of was going. I think what she ended up with totally fits. But I mean, I see the evolution. Like, it totally makes sense in my brain. I don't know.
No, it's perfectly fair. Sometimes you think desert, you think very hot, and then you forget, oh, right, night happens in deserts, so sun goes down, you can explain that. And you have to obviously bundle up a little bit more before it gets really hot out the next day, and then you hate your life for everything. So I don't know, like I hope we get to see more of these, the concept art for everybody coming through. I would love to see, and I'm going to sound biased again, I'd love to see the concept art for Typhon. Both Typhon, what Typhon actually looks like, and Typhon as in the conceptual character. Because if you look all the way through Borderlands, you see Typhon, these handsome, rugged individualist, maybe like 6'2", 6'3", an adventure man's man kind of situation like Indiana Jones. And then you meet him and he's Danny DeVito.
One of my favorite characters as well throughout the entire game.
Hey.
Even just for a short time. I was so sad. I'm like, no, why is he gone?
He was
Loved
great. He was great.
Loved him.
I was sad about that too.
About that, I have one other campaign. Tweety, you got to help me now because now I know
What?
he's your favorite character too. You got to help me. You ready? Borderlands, the prequel. Okay, and it stars us as Typhon DeLeon.
That would be an interesting experience.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Help me out here. I was thinking about it today because I was going through the family jewel, the spaceship, the Jacob's spaceship that they have. You know, we're going to fight Genevieve and everything. And Typhon, if we looked through the timeline, was probably at some point on the spaceship. So that could be your hub when he's hanging out with Montgomery and Maggie Jacobs, right? So there's your hub. And then you could use that as a launching point to go through all of the different periods that we get to hear about but don't get to see in Borderlands 3 and whatever else they want to expand on in the lore about Typhon. I don't know. It would be really fun. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Borderlands game. It could be some sort of action adventure game or a platform or something because he's got the whip. So you could make a platformer game starring Typhon DeLeon.
Another Tales.
Sure.
Another
so
Tales.
Cool.
Oh, why not?
Tales. I love
They have the rights for it now. Yeah. Just something, anything. I just want more Typhon DeLeon.
What more?
I do. It is what it is. So
I think Mitsu needs to play him in the movie. Just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can only get away with it though if they happen to do it like CGI, because I don't really like unless I put on like a suit. I'm probably not gonna do very well as Typhon DeLeon unless I do the voice. That's different. I wish.
So
I wish.
It's so good.
He's just the greatest. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'll stop now. Yeah, but like I said, it would just be super cool if we could see more of these concept arts as time went on. Because I love learning and I imagine both of you do too, the process that goes into actually creating a universe and all of the inhabitants that live inside of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could have damn it be Typhon DeLeon. That could work out really well.
That'll work.
But to hell, fellow stream team member. He could.
Yeah,
do it.
he does a really good impression too.
He does.
He does.
Yes. No. He's definitely got the aesthetic for it too. I could see him pulling that off really well. I would love to see him whipping around, going from place to place, being damn it to hell, but actually Typhon DeLeon.
The beard flying in the wind. It's great.
Oh my god.
I need someone to draw that ASAP, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Artists of the Borderlands.
The beard goes to his knees.
Please make this a reality for us. Just tweet it at us. Test Games, TweetyExp, Mitsu Show. Tweet it at us.
Yes, please.
Please.
I need it. It would be wonderful.
Man.
All right. I think we finally come to the end of our journey today. Tweety, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate having you here to share your very unique perspective and energy with everybody. We're so happy to have you as part of everything going on. We can't wait to have you on again very soon, I'm sure.
I'll be available.
Yay! I love that. That's the best answer because that means yay. I don't have to like sweat asking you because I have social anxiety.
Like, oh no.
All right. So with that being said, Bounty Blood is out right the heck now. DLC 3, go and get it and play it. If you haven't been sold on it after everything that we've talked about today, I really don't know what else we can do for you because it's just that good. Just do it. Guardian Takedown is still waiting to challenge tons of different players. I encourage you, if you haven't already, take a swing at it. Look up some builds if you feel like you're not comfortable. Find a place to settle in, and I guarantee you will have a great time running all the way through and making those Guardians fall before your might. The Legendary Collection for Borderlands, which includes Borderlands 2, a pre-sequel, all the DLCs, and Borderlands 1 is now out on the Nintendo Switch. We talked about it at the top of the show. I'm going to talk about it quite a bit because I can't stop playing it when I'm off stream. So what's your excuse? There's just been so much Borderlands. Tweety, where can they find you?
So I stream on Twitch, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, noon Central, Twitter, TweetyExp, now posting YouTube videos at TweetyExp as well. You can see my blindfold Malawan takedown, all that shenanigans. Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. And I'm Tessichka on Twitch, Tess Games on Twitter and Instagram. I stream on my channel mornings and evenings, and I also stream on the Borderlands channel every Monday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. And for those of you who aren't sick of hearing my voice yet, yes, indeed, I am Mitsu of The Mitsu Show. Twitter.com/Mitsu Show if you're interested in listening to my ridiculous ramblings on Twitter, or twitch.tv/Mitsu. I'm very happy I finally got that name. That was 6 years in the making, but God bless America, we made it happen. All right. If you would, Tess.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Seriously, we super appreciate you all hanging out. That it makes the show so much more fun to do, being able to do it live, seeing your reactions in chat, sometimes answering questions and things like that. If you are listening on any of the audio podcast services, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Music, I always forget one, but I might have gotten them all that time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for following, subscribing. You can also subscribe on YouTube or check out the VOD on Twitch and on Facebook as well. Thank you for watching if you guys are chilling there. We're here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Cool. And just a quick reminder real quick as well, this week on July 9th, there will be an Ultimate Vault Hunters featuring Lazy Data's Return. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on twitch.tv/Borderlands first, as well as over on YouTube and all of the other services listed by Tess before to follow. Because I honestly could not list all of them. She's better at it than I. So with that being said, on behalf of Tess, myself, the entire stream team, and what's to come with that team, thank you so much for joining us as you do every single week. Now go forth and make some mayhem.